right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime,
Season 2, Episode 16. Negotiations are over?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe? They could be. I like the way the direction of the show could be going if we kind of move forward a couple steps.
Let's see the demon battles.
So let's see things get to that point. I feel like you still need to establish, like, a couple mechanical things as to how that everybody's going to be utilized here.
Right.
And
the actual planning rather than negotiations.
Right. So maybe showing it a little bit in the way that Rimuru did the stuff by handling the Falmouth army and, sending people to the different locations, having something like that where we get to see it happening while they're kind of discussing the how could be pretty cool. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right, we're back to our classic slime episodes.
Yep.
This is a good, decent talking episode.
Yes.
This is how you do it. Yeah.
Even the talking stuff that did happen was crazy entertaining. It was so much fun.
Very entertaining, and it was also very efficient, and it felt very much relevant in a weird way. Very little having to do with what the previous episodes were talking about, which is kind of unfortunate. But Ramirez was funny. Ramirez was entertaining. Ramirez had conflicting emotions at times.
Right, so there was progression happening while the information's being communicated.
Yeah, we were getting to know Ramirez's character. So very cool stuff.
I'll spoil who the heroine decides if you don't tell me right now. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. The demon lords are going to have a banquet. It is a thing that has been deemed evil by the Holy Church, because of course they would. But also, the idea is that it's not necessarily always a war meeting.
Nope.
Sometimes, maybe, there was a time in the past where war did happen after one.
Sure. But
from Ramirez's perspective as a demon lord, she's just like, oh, no, they just sit around and drink tea and talk about important stuff. And, discuss sporting events, their latest shows that they watch. It's just a place to hang out and stuff. But it is only a thing that can be called upon to attend as like a, hey, you better show up if you're a demon lord. But they have to have 3 demon lords all agree to call it, which is fun because then it's this is only called upon when at the very least a decent percentage of the demon lords out there see the need, like the important need for it.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. See, the thing is, Walpurgis things happen all the time. But Milim agreed to call this one. She hates meetings. Like, if she is saying, yes,
and
let's call a meeting.
specifically with Clayman, someone that she's not necessarily the best buddies with.
Right, it's like, no, this is a problem.
Like, so why are you so calm?
It's hard enough getting her to actually show up to these things. And she's spearheading it.
Right. That's the kind of thing where I kind of love that Ramirez is looking at this, because I think that in a lot of ways slime is very much someone's D&D campaign kind of style, TTRPG setting, and they're just playing it out in a light novel to anime format. But the idea of the DM NPC that's just like, no, you don't get it. This is weird. Right. This is something that you shouldn't be so calm about. And then the PCs are just like,
whatever, who cares? Whatever. We'll probably just kick their asses if they do anything.
It'll be fine. And they're just like, I love Ramirez's involvement in this episode. Voice acting was funny. Yes. Everything was wonderful. Now, we had the very quick kind of transition between that kind of update into okay, now let's talk about what our actual attack on or how we basically go to war with Clayman. And they discussed a couple things there. But Clayman has an army. He's already sent to attack Urizania.
2 days out.
Yeah. And while that is a problem, not just because they're going to, kill tons of people. Right. It's okay, we can't send our full army there to stop them because that just...
We got the information too late. Yeah. It
would take too much time. And the difference between the Ramirez telling them in the morning versus night literally makes no difference. It's just you could probably send, maybe 20 people that are really powerful with flying magic or something like that.
Right, and hope you can just nuke the army from orbit, but
then they're all
they also will have their magic people with them. So
so that won't even necessarily work.
Yeah, like the thing of the 30,000, I was almost for sake of time, I totally get that they didn't, but I was almost expecting them to go into the same kind of breakdown of like no. So there's the army, but like he's got these other people with them in addition to like the whole thing of the fingers, which was a cool little bit. We've got some lieutenants for our characters to fight that aren't just Clayman and the other demon lords.
Then we have a new arc for this TTRPG campaign.
Yep.
And it's good to have lieutenants for your BBG.
Right.
So Clayman setting this all up, potentially going to become a new ascension level of demon lord.
Right.
Which is okay. That's not something we understand, but
no.
Okay.
And I am a little curious as far like he doesn't have perfectly good information. That's good to know.
It might also not be exactly what he's doing.
Right, because
we did get some focus on the villains in a previous episode.
Well, and also if there's ways to go past Demon Lord, wouldn't one of the first things you do once you become a Demon Lord is like go the next step, right? Because
which is why I don't think it's as simple as just killing people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because otherwise they probably would have done it already.
Right, which is why I think that there's something potentially there in this is an atrocity that's about to be committed right next to the people that just wiped out another army. So it's this is a small army. Maybe this is actually another bait by Clayman to set up the narrative that Rimuru is actually the enemy of the world and needs to be stopped.
Yep. I would not be surprised by that. Yeah. I like the fact though that because Clayman is using Muron's death as the like instigating factor for this, of like, Carrion clearly like colluded with the Nation of Tempest so that way they could kill one of my people.
And then that's
my high-ranking officers.
And that's what he can just tell Milim. So Milim will be on his side, yeah.
Right. And then it's no, she's actually she's alive.
She's fine.
There you go. That's a great way that they can pull the blocks out from under Clayman. So that'll be fun to see when it happens.
And it's also fun to showcase that the plans of your bad guy can actually be directed and they can be fallible based on the actions of the protagonists and their group.
They're not, the bad guy isn't all-knowing, even if he is very smart and has
Kingdom
some clairvoyance.
Where all this was according to my design. And, yes, I knew you would say that. This is a actual legitimate just character here doing their best to try their schemes. And yes, Rimuru is powerful and thus his actions influence that.
Yeah.
So that's also pretty cool. The Diablo kind of fun little let's talk about the Razin and prisoners and stuff. And it's
ramen
ramen, and then you wiped out the guardian of. Isn't he a very high-ranking wizard?
Oh no, he was a peon. Like he was super weak. Oh okay. Diablo, who here would you say isn't weak? Well, there's Rimuru, and then me.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the way that it would go.
And then Veldora would be like, huh?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, who are you?
right. He'd be like, you had your heyday.
Right, exactly. You're a has-been. Let's be real.
He'd be like, you're decent. Like, you're stronger than pretty much everybody here, but
that's not saying much, And then suddenly Gopta's like, oh, you've done it now.
It'd be really funny to see if the reason why Diablo's kind of upset about this is not because it's this is beneath me, but it's the idea of him being like, you're sending me on this mission and you think it's going to take years, but like, I could do it all in like a month.
Why do we need to do this play nice thing and set up rulers that people think might be legitimate?
I could just go, and then everyone would just do what I wanted.
They'd have glowing red eyes, but it's fine.
It's fine, they'd forget all that,
Yeah, exactly.
Go back to their regular lives. I love the idea that he's this almost unlimited power, limitless powerful being, EDB living space, but also just okay, can you help set up a transition from one kingdom's rulers to another? And he's like, yes, technically I can do that.
If that is what
what you want me to do, I could be used way more usefully, but sure.
Whatever makes you happy.
Whatever makes you happy. Yeah, exactly. My opinion of Diablo gets better and better because he's not scheming.
No.
He just really wants to be in, like, the proximity to potentially the most entertaining, powerful newcomer in this world, and he's just like, I'm old. Powerful people are boring, but you're interesting.
Yeah, you do things a bit different.
It's like Cthulhu being told, can you go deal with our like Game of Thrones family political squabbles? He's like, yes, I can go deal with the Targaryens or the
just sort of like
the Tyrells.
Well,
yes.
it's the I'll stop holding my breath in this general direction, right? You know.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the idea of just the butler style secret demon ancient being just kind of going, master. And then just everyone's like,
right. It feels like all the stuff that I love about Alucard personality-wise and everything, but because much quieter,
subdued state,
and because the conflict of the story doesn't usually involve him, but also two isn't usually dependent on who's the most powerful because it's a nationwide thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't become problematic, and you can have all the fun of it without the problems. So
right, and then we also don't get to have him involved in the big fight coming up.
Right,
because then
we top him somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll use this phrase a lot. So just to clarify as to what we mean by this, one of the things that will lower your opinion of Avatar: The Last Airbender, so bear with it. It's a grain of salt that you don't need to know this information. So if you like to plug your ears real quick and just keep that show in its sanctity there, just fair warning here. Toph's written in such a way so that she can never lose a fight because she's written away from the big problems. And then in the points where she encounters the people that are pretty decently good.
And are supposed to have like plot armor.
She has the aura of stupid in how she uses her powers.
I'm going to move the ground from under you so you might trip a little.
It's the person who has, when 6th level spells and they choose to use their cantrip to make someone fall prone a little bit.
Well, but also
when they could do like 120 damage and like around.
And the big problem with Toph specifically is that she was introduced to be the person who waits for the perfect moment to strike and end the fight instantly. That was her character introduction. So it's a lot more obvious and egregious when she does it.
Literally the next episode, she uses her powers in the dumbest way possible. So here we have Diablo. Yes.
And he is too awesome, too cool for school and everything, so we got to send him somewhere else because otherwise, come on.
Right. Then they would have to write in a reason as to why he doesn't end the fight, basically.
You don't want your leader to just turn into, sorry, Hellsing fans, Integra, where it's like, yes, I'm such a great leader because I say, Alucard, go kill everyone over there. Yes, I'm a genius. I'm so bad. It's the Griffin.
It's the Griffin of
guts. Go kill them.
Oh my God, I'm a tactical genius. Yeah. Strategic mastery. It's mine. Yeah. So, anyway. But this show here, we have also been answered the question as to who was the person over there. Well, they're Beretta. They're the automaton that was from season 1 that
I vaguely remember.
I vaguely remember that because it was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's the, oh shit, cool, nice, a fun little personal connection again to Ramirez, someone
and named after a gun. Awesome.
Yes, that too. but the idea that your American is showing,
I know what I'm about, son.
Yeah, the idea that if Rimuru died, or if something happened to him, the magic keeping her as some kind of being, as some kind of entity, what would happen to it? And it's I don't know what the rules are with regards to magic that's been set in motion,
right,
by another magical being. There's no concentration in this world, so it's
if Ed dies, who fixes Al?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
What do we do? Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
But it's a personal thing to connect Ramirez and remind the audience back of their connection. But not just that, but Rimuru has done things for people out there that still persist in the goodwill of that person back to Rimuru.
It shows the impact and capabilities and stuff of the main character, but it's also something that is wonderful because it speeds things along and gives progress really quickly because we don't have to have episodes dedicated to diplomatizing and stuff when we don't actually care about these characters necessarily very much, and instead we just have them have a strong emotional motivation that makes them get along with the story.
Right, because they were introduced a while ago.
Yeah.
So
no, it's actually just because the characters are female, and so only the men can,
But to be fair, this was also an instance where we forgot about pretty much everything with regards to Ramirez because the last quarter of Slime was a portion of the show that we just didn't look fondly on in general.
And apparently even with that part, because I remember someone mentioning it when we were like, was this person previously introduced? They're like, yes, and they showed a bit where it's like, we'll get to her story later. And it was just like, oh yeah, they kind of, like, they sort of showed it, but they also kind of skipped over it.
Right, because there were all the production issues with
and light novel adaptation and all that stuff. Yeah. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, simple episode, straightforward episode.
Ramirez is good. With seal of approval.
Yes, indeed. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.